much, and thanks Evelyn for organising this, I think, really important event. As Arlene said, I'm Jenni Minto, I'm Minister for Public Health and Women's Health. As many of my MSP colleagues will know, I always start by saying I also have the privilege to represent Argyll and Bute, which is Scotland's most beautiful constituency, but also has a lot. I know, I actually drive through Evelyn's quite often to get to Argyll and Bute. I go, oh, maybe, you're running me close. Yeah, and Argyll and Bute is a place where I recognise we have ticks. Clearly, we have a lot of ticks, and that's why I was quite interested in looking at your map to see what Argyll and Bute was like. I first came across ticks when I was 7 or 8, and we had a pet spaniel, and suddenly my mum looked at her and went, "What on earth is that?" Thankfully, my aunt, who was there as well, knew exactly what it was and was able to remove this tick from Sherry with a set of tweezers. So ticks are something that I have kind of grown up with. I recognise them. Lyme's disease, on the other hand, I only really heard about when a colleague of mine at the BBC, his wife was bitten by a tick. They were up north of Ardnamurchan, and she was bitten by a tick, and that changed her life for a good number of years. She had 3 little boys as well, so I can recognise, Pauline, what you were telling me as well. So that was really my experience. I am therefore committed to ensure that we raise awareness to Lyme's disease. Evelyn said that you had a debate last year. I'm fairly sure I've spoken in one debate, and I've also responded in a debate as well, so I think it must have been your debate that I responded in. So it's something that I feel very strongly about. And I think the social media that we're doing, I noticed Alexander Burnett was here and he intervened on my response last year, but I didn't have the courage there to say to him, I think, Alexander, given that we're having lots of limelight puns, I was thinking he could maybe do a TikTok video, and I could just imagine that. So maybe that's something we can talk about, Evelyn, we do a TikTok. The Scottish Government has provided funding to raise awareness in posters, and I think it's really important, as you touched on, Arlene, the importance of collaboration, of how we can work. I think so much happens in Scotland when we look at our academics, our healthcare professionals, government, and also very much, and the most important in my view, are those with lived experience and the third sector organisations. So from a government perspective, I very much appreciate the work that the Lyme Resource Centre is doing, and in partnership with government. So thank you. I think one of your messages was early recognition. Now, I had a tick bite last year, and I removed the tick very quickly. But then I started getting a bit panicky because I still had a mark. So I was on NHS Inform, watching out, saying what it was telling me. No, it's not getting any better. So I was actually up in Aberdeen at the time, not with my home GP. So I went to a chemist shop and they said, no, you're going to have to go to a doctor's. So I went to a doctor, I saw a senior nurse practitioner who said, oh yes, we're going to give you a course of antibiotics. So I had a 3-week course of incredibly strong antibiotics. Thankfully, I caught it early enough. So from my knowledge about what ticks can do, the advice that I could see on NHS Inform was incredibly important to me. And I think also the really quick, which I know wasn't your experience, but the quick response that I got from the GP surgery was really important. I'm one of these sad people that when I now drive around Scotland and I see a pharmacy, I'm thinking, oh, have they got a tick poster? Yes, they do. Excellent. So I'm sure there's a social media campaign there as well. You just take photographs and then share them as widely as we can. I think the phrase, and my officials will correct me if I get this wrong, but it's see a tick, remove it quick. So I'm thinking, see a tick poster, put it on your phone and share it, because I think that's the way we really do need to raise awareness. I've also been involved in reconvening the Scottish Health Protection Network Tick-Borne Disease Group, and they are looking at some surveillance work, which I think is incredibly important, and I really look forward to seeing that work coming into fruition. And I think increased surveillance of ticks is absolutely crucial for us to understand more about Lyme's disease. So I'll just finish there. I love all the puns that we're getting tonight, so thank you very much. I'm very much looking forward to hear what Morven May has to say too. I'd just like to finish on one last note. I have a collie dog. We removed two ticks off him in March. Now, it didn't used to be March, so there's something around the environment as well here that I think is something that we need to have awareness of as well. So thanks, Evelyn, so much for bringing this to our wonderful Parliament. And as Arlene said, please have lots of conversations, because that's a good way to raise awareness as well. Thank you.